Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, we'll be asking cards about your future spouse and when, how, and who. Just basically any information we can get about this. I haven't done one about like trying to get a precise date or season or timeline for a while, so I thought that might be one that somebody might be interested in. So I have 4 stacks for you all today. Out here we have Aura Quartz, Obsidian, clear quartz, and lastly we have rose quartz. So choose whichever stone or pile calls out to you. You can check the description box or the comment section for timestamps if you'd like to skip to whatever stack or stacks called out to you. Remember, if multiples called out to you, it's perfectly fine. Just choose those piles and just listen for whatever really sticks with you and leave the rest with the universe. So we'll go ahead and get started. Hello to everyone who chose pile 1. We have your Aura Quartz right here. I've already laid out all of the cards when it comes to this future spouse reading just so I don't waste your time. So I'll go over them quickly so you do know what's out here on the table. Starting up here, we have the Page of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Queen of Coins, Love. This is the Lovers with Choice and Trust. We have the Ace of Pentacles with a Manifestation, Prosperity, and the Magician with Willpower and Creation. Over here we have the Axolotl with Regeneration, the Owl with Wisdom, the Snake and Fern with Starting Over, the Hound and Pear with Loyalty, Connect to the Heart, Patience, and over here we have Chaos with number 6 in Vesuvius, Italy, and then we have Transcending with the number 39 in Atlantis. So lots of different sort of elements coming out here, but the main thing that stood out to me when I was laying out these cards is how chaos turns into transcending, and both of those cards being like Vesuvius in Italy, where it's like fire, everything burns up, and Atlantis with this card, we have complete opposites. So when it comes to when, how, and who, we have somebody who's sort of migrating through 2 separate moments, and I feel like that's an energy that's on you as well in a very good way, because we have regeneration into wisdom and we have that transition over here. Even with starting over and loyalty, we see like a fresh beginning for the 2 of you. So I do feel like this person, like you're both on your own separate journeys, sort of figuring out and like finalizing the things that you need to do separately, and then you're on the way toward each other. Feels like it's quicker, even though we're starting off with a cup over there, which would be one of the slower cards. We do have a quicker energy because it's sort of got that youthfulness of the page that would bring in that fresh start, like I said, starting over, newness, a rebirth here, and we're moving into like new territory that goes into a nice stability. So I do like we're immediately starting off with love, with affection, with a relationship, and then we're moving forward into all of these other wonderful energies. So as for when, because of the cards I'm getting, I'm feeling like it's rather soon. We have 6 and we have 39, and I pointed out these numbers because all those other ones, like, they didn't really stand out to me, but we have 6 and 39, and we have 3, 9, and 6. So it would be 3, 6, 9, right? There's a sequence going on within those 2 cards, and it feels like there is a sequence that's going on here. And I want to say, look out for 3s. So if you start seeing the number 3 a lot of places, or 3s keep coming up, 6s, 9s, sequences of 3, I would focus on that. If you're like in June, or you're in March, you're in one of the 3s months, right? So what would be March, June, September, and December. Any of those months are months that would stand out like really well when it comes to this. It could be 3 months from now, because I'm leaning toward a smaller number when I see all of these cards. So it's a good timeline I'm seeing here. It's a nice progression that's going on within all of these cards. So I definitely look toward like 3-ish months. I'm also feeling like season wise, it feels like a nice season. So we're looking toward like clear skies. This might be around spring, summer, whether in northern or southern hemisphere. Look toward spring and summer. So those are the timelines. When it comes to how you meet this person, there's a lot of interesting like nature aspects to this, but it almost feels like travel to me, and I'm not sure if it's you traveling somewhere else to meet them. And travel doesn't mean like always you have to go to another country. It could be somebody near you and you're traveling to like a different location. Maybe like you're going to the beach, or you're going to the mountains, or you're going to like you know, an area around you that you've always wanted to go to, but you know, you're not quite able to get there yet, right? So that's what I'm saying. There's like this travel aspect to it. With it starting off in the Page of Cups, sometimes I see pages as like a fresh energy. So that does mean that this person is more likely to be somebody new. It doesn't seem like a repeat, but in that fresh energy, it feels like somebody who has a brightness to them, like a spark. There's a joy within them, especially within that Page of Cups, because that's the type of person that is just very kind, very like, I don't know, like they really live by feeling. They put their heart into everything they do. They're very, like, soul wise, they're a very pure person. They, even though like I've said, like they've been through a lot, I feel like it's only made them this kinder person, more appreciative of what comes and who comes. They're somebody who, even like regardless of what they've been through, has still kept that happiness, you know, that bright positive outlook. And they have this approach, like certain people who are watching this right now, when it comes to this person, there is something about the way that they approach you. They have this like almost gentle, sweet approach. They have like a very lovely smile, something about their eyes that like sparkles. So when you look at them, it feels like you're the only one that exists. Like they look at you so special, you know, with so much intensity, that, and so much love, even from the gate, that like, you know, this person is the one. You know that this person truly cares, that this is like a great, you know, like I said, a pure soul. There's just something so lovely about this person. Now, when this person comes through, right, I do feel like, since we're not getting swords coming out here in their true state, I'm not feeling like this is a talkative person. This person might be somebody who you know, is working on talking. This might be somebody who is just not, you know, interested in talking. Sometimes they just, you know, don't have a lot to say. It's not that they're like you know, they're extremely introverted, but I don't think that's it. I think they're just not a talker. So you might think at the beginning, like, you know, is this person interested in me, or, you know, how do I get to know this person more? But there's nothing to worry about, because we have a quick sort of swap of energy with a Hanged Man into something that you feel like I don't know, there's that synchronicity that kicks in with the Queen of Pentacles, and it's where it moves you forward. So there's nothing to worry about there. But this person really seems to have like a very stable mentality. They're very aware of, like, you know, themselves. I think they did a lot of like introspection, their own awareness check, because their way of moving forward, it's like they just have this connection to like a higher power that's very like rare to find, right? It's something that's hard to come across. So there's this really like interesting way that they're just so oddly peaceful, and it's beautiful. It's really great, and it's something that's very stable within them. You don't see the highs and lows. You see a nice stable person. It also shows up between the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles as somebody who is in a good position work-wise, or somebody who is developing their future. So they're on this road to like wealth, right? A nice stable future, everything really, you know, coming together. Even within that Magician, we have things coming together. Now, the last thing I want to point out is all the appearances of like dogs, right? Canines. We have the wolves here within love. We have the hound within the hound and pair with loyalty. We have connect to heart. So we have those three cards right there. Lots of dog imagery, and that's loyalty. That's somebody who is with you for life. That's somebody you're bonded with, and that's somebody that you know, it's your best friend, it's your partner, it's the love of your life. It's everything melted into one. This is somebody who's like truly bonded to you, and somebody who's very unique, somebody who's very special. Like, I don't think this connection compares to anyone else on multiple levels, on like just having somebody who understands you, also having somebody who loves you, also, you know, somebody who's there with you. So it gives me that like just always by your side. And then patience is the last card that is standing out to me. And with patience, I do feel like that's not saying wait, you know, or like they're coming 5 years from now. I think patience is that you've waited a long time. You've been through a lot with that chaos. You're transcending now. You're getting to that place where you can move forward. So patience is, it's paid off. All these things are coming through. So just, you know, it's only a matter of time for this. So it does seem like I said, you know, it feels like travel. It might be near water. We have a lot of water, even within chaos, even though that's a volcano, right? We have water. We have water. In regeneration, there's water. Page of Cups, water, lots of water aspects. So it might be near water. It might be, honestly, where there's a lot of dogs. Might be a dog park. Might be like a place you adopt animals at. It might be a zoo, you know, anything where there's like a variety of wildlife. But it seems like just slight travel, and this might be the person might have to travel to you, so it might not be like you both having to go out and find each other. It might just be their travel toward you. But that's what I'm seeing with this first stack pile with when, how, and who, and this aura cards. I hope that you could see the actual aura aspect within that. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Hello to everyone who chose pile 2 with this Obsidian right here. So I've already laid out all the cards when it comes to this future spouse. Pick a card with when, how, and who. I'll go over them quickly so you know what's out here. I just didn't want to waste your time laying out each card one at a time. So we have the Three of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Two of Cups. The shadow here would be death, but it's self-empowerment and ambition. We have the Knight of Cups with charm and passion, the Tower with release and revelation. Over here we have the Crow with magic, the Worm with renewal, the Squirrel and Chestnut with preparation, and the Snail and Huckleberry with trust in the invisible. We have surrender, movement, and then over here we have 19 with happiness and Shambhala Himalayas. Then we have 33 with protection and the Cave of Hands in Argentina. So lots of different cards coming out that all show up as this person's personality. So their personality is coming through really, really strong. I do want to point out the when, because I focus on the when in the first one. We have an interesting story coming out within the first 3 cards of the Three of Swords, the Knight of Wands to the Two of Cups. We have heartbreak, which might represent you, it might represent them, but I feel like there was an abrupt end to something. It doesn't have to be a relationship, it could be anything that caused a renewal, right? Caused one stage to abruptly end and a new stage to come through. A good thing is because we're moving from swords into wands, we're still seeing a fast transit. So if this person isn't near you yet, they are on their way to you, because we see an immediate lineup with that Two of Cups, which is soulmates meeting, 2 people coming together. It's a very quick transition that I'm seeing across there. And even with this, with the Death card coming out as well as the Tower, both of those cards together, it just seems to me like it's all about this good energy that's coming through and into one, and a brightness within the other. Because these are more like positive versions of the cards, we see that whatever comes through is chosen. So it's what you know is best for you. And sometimes, you know, the end to something is important. The Tower moment is important so that you can do some introspection. The Knight of Shells is normally the Knight of Cups, sorry, is normally my card of like soul searching. It's coming to terms with who you really are and venturing out to find what your soul purpose is. So there's a lot of movement there, and I do feel that, like, to me, that means that they're very close to arrival. They're coming in very quickly. It's not like months away. Anything 2, maybe 4 months. I'm feeling like 6-ish at the most, but it all depends on the time that you're watching this, because happiness here is 19. 19 adds up to 10, which is a fresh start. We have 33 over here. Together that would be 6. We're seeing like a 6-month cycle here for that freshness. Now, when it comes to where, I'll get that out of the way quickly too. And I'm seeing a lot of buildings, or the buildings at least, are standing out to me. So this might be at like a tourist spot near you. This might be where there are a lot of buildings. This might be like in the city. Maybe you're going shopping, or there's like an attraction you want to go to, a certain shop. but there's like a lot of buildings or a lot of like people. It seems to be more of like a hustle bustle area, not necessarily one that's like out in the middle of nowhere. There does seem to be some heightened energy, especially with that Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands has that, you know, like go get them, or just like put all your intensity into the situation, you know, just like really hype it up. So lots of things going on there. I would more focus on an area that is close to you, that's more city like, because the first one felt like it was more nature, and there was a journey to get there. This one does not seem that way. This one seems very close to you, and or even if there is a trip, it's a quick one because of those two cards. So lots of quicker movement within this pile, lots of closeness, and those are the areas I'd stick to. There is a chance that it might be at night with some of the cards that are coming out. So maybe there's, like, I know near me there's like downtown area that has a large like outside venue that's very popular. It's like half park, half venue, but most of the things happen at night. So it might be something that's like gathering in a city venue, basically like a park or something that's coming through. Now with who this is, that's the good part. We're going to focus on that from now on, because one of my favorite cards has come out with that Two of Cups up here, and two really great cards have come out at the bottom. We have Trust in the Invisible and Surrender, and those two cards like stand out so much because I feel like this person has really wanted, you know, that soulmate, that you know, bonded partner, that life partner to come through. And I feel like it's not necessarily that they were like, you know, trying to find one, because I don't feel like there were a lot of people, you know, a lot of exes or past people in their life. I don't feel like they were necessarily in that stage of like, you know, trying to find them. I felt like they, like the cards say, like they surrender. They're sort of, they got to this point where they're like, the, you know, higher powers, the universe is going to bring me somebody that's perfect for me. So rather than, you know, like trying all these other people that aren't compatible, you know, all these other people that aren't, you know, the one, or will cause distress or, you know, issues, they're like, you know, forget about that. I'm not dealing with those. I'm gonna let, you know, whoever they believe in to bring in the right person. And by surrendering and trusting in the invisible, I think that's what allowed this, you know, this movement to be so swift. And I think that's on your side too. Like, you've done some work on yourself. You know, you've done the release, the revelation, the, all that soul searching, so that you could allow this to come through. It does seem like with the squirrel saying preparation, renewal over here, it feels like there is a sign here that's saying like, something is changing, or like you're going to get signs soon that this is coming through. Like things are around you, like certain things will pop out to you, little things are going to almost like remind you of something. It's like you'll be getting some sort of deja vu repeatedly. It feels like there's, I don't know, a change in energy that allows you to see where this person is coming through. But they seem like a really like grounded person, but I think like in a way that's uniquely like family first. So they put a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of care toward their family. Like it's number one, you know, to them. But more than just number one, it's like they just feel like those people are everything, their life. So when you come through, you immediately become, you know, that part of them. But it's interesting because when that Two of Cups comes out, I've always said this one in particular, it's a different type of bond. And for them to take, you know, all these people to heart, you know, like truly, like they give up their life for these people. But when that card comes through, it's the one card that always says this person needs you and you need them. It's the one that's like, you complete each other entirely. You are the all the missing pieces, like for the other one. You complete that puzzle that was sort of like you know, just a little incomplete. You perfectly match each other, and there's this soul bond that is formed by a higher power that unites you two. So I think this person just really is like, you're bonded to each other. They're a very lively person. In contrast, funny enough, with the previous stack, this is a very lively person. This person has a lot of energy. I feel like it does take a while for them to show it. Doesn't seem like it's an immediate energy that comes up, but I do feel like they're charming, they're fun, they have a lot of jokes, they're one who likes to go out and do fun things. They are not necessarily the ones that's like the fanciest, you know, they're not spending a lot on their looks or anything, but I do feel like they have like certain aspects of their style that's like it's very key to them. So it might be like a certain brand that they like have to have, you know, shoes or pants from. There's something about them because of like this filigree work that I'm seeing in a lot of these cards. It feels like there's something about either like the way that they groom themselves, you know, something about them that's like quite particular to them. It's something that they, you know, won't ever change despite everything else. They just like that is their key trait. They are very mellow person for having that excitement, having that happiness, you know, that outgoing personality. I'm a very mellow person. They work incredibly hard, but they really prefer to spend as much time as they can, every free second they can, just, you know, having fun with those they care about. So that's what I keep saying. They're very, very, very family oriented. And the movement card coming in last, as well as protection here, I think there's like maybe a couple of you that need to hear this. You are moving toward this person, and this person does have more of a protective energy. With this card, I'm saying that because there's an egg here that the snake is wrapping around. It's protecting, you know, that egg. So it feels to me like there's somebody that needs to be told that this person who's going to make you feel secure and it's going to make you feel safe is coming through for you. And it's very quick movement. It's not like always away. This person is coming through, and you will feel like there's somebody there supporting you soon enough. But that's what I'm seeing with this second stack and that obsidian. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I do hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Hello to everyone who chose pile 3. We have your little moon clear quartz right here. I already laid out all the cards when it comes to this future spouse. Pick a card with when, how, and who. I'll go over them quickly so you know it's on the table. I just didn't want to waste your time by laying out each card individually. So up here we have Death, the Wheel of Fortune, the Star, the Nine of Pentacles with security and abundance, the Five of Cups with hope and readjustment, the Empress with beauty and abundance. Down here we have the Octopus with flexibility, the Flying Fish with possibility, the Eland Iris with safety, the Skunk and Magnolia with protection, Shadow, the Alchemist. Then we have Peace with the number 29 and St. Francis of Assisi, Italy, and Exuberance with 12 and the Roaring 20s in Paris. So when it comes to the stack, when it comes to your future spouse, when, how, and who, I did start off with the other ones with where and how, but I'm sort of not necessarily seeing how, and it's not giving me a timeline like as clear as the other two when, but I still want to focus on that because it does seem like there's a lot of interesting like major transits within these cards, because we go from like Death, right, to the Wheel of Fortune and the Star, and that's like, you know, the absolutely over, it's the end, but we do see rebirth from that card, and the Star is healing and moving forward and getting into a better place, but it's also wish fulfillment. And we have Peace into Exuberance, so like solitude within this card, but like chosen solitude, and Exuberance with almost like a re-entry. So it feels like within these cards, even with that octopus just illustration into the Flying Fish, there's this like re-entry into society. There's this change of things that are going on, and I'm seeing the number 10 stand out for some reason with the Wheel of Fortune, but also there seems to be major energies that are swapping, and there's a lot of 10 Roman numeral 10 that's popping up on all of these cards. So when it comes to this, I'm not sure like if it's the 10th month, right, which would be October, because it depends on when you see this. So if you're like a ways away from October, it might not necessarily be October, but it might be like 10 weeks or so. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not really seeing a when, but I'm seeing 10s. So this might be cycles of 10. This might be when you see like a lot of 10s popping up. This might be somebody who was born on the 10th. It might be somebody who was born in the 10th month. but there seems to be something important about 10. And I know that there has to be like one person that's like, oh, I'm going on a trip, you know, on the 10th, or I'm doing this on the 10th. You might meet like on the 10th, but it has like this strong 10 that's standing out to me. I do feel like it'll just be the two of you when you meet. Beside this card that has like the group aspect to it, I do feel like it's just the two of you, and it's you know, you two being able to communicate, just talk to each other. Seems like a very peaceful environment. You know, it seems like just like you're in a nice area. I don't feel like there's a lot of people that are interrupting you or impacting you. Not a lot of people that are coming like into your space, so you're able to really focus on each other, really focus on you know, just growing the relationship, having a conversation, getting to you know, bond and connect with the other person. And I feel like both of you, it's like an interesting connection, because I think that there are a few things, like you have a lot of core values that are similar, but there seems to be like a few interests that are sort of surprising that you have in common, like maybe something unique, unique hobby, or a unique rare music group that like not many people know about. You know, it's something that you're like sort of surprised to find somebody else interested in. So there's a lot of that coming through. It's like you're able to just talk to each other. I do feel like this is coming out of transit for both of you. So it's like when timing is like when you're coming out of whatever transit you're in, which means like if you are currently in a major like transit, trying to better yourself, trying to find what it is that makes you happy, like work-wise, education, where you live, like the area in which you live, all those things. Feels like that's the timeline. When you're done doing that is when this person arrives. And that might be why I'm seeing it as like completion here, because 10 normally represents completion. So when one stage ends, this new stage begins. When it comes to who, though, I really like the way that these cards are coming out, because we see a really great person. We see somebody who's done so much self-reflection, and I think coming out of it, like had you met them before, they seem to be somebody who just wasn't like in the most positive place, right? They almost seemed very pessimistic in the past, but then we see them move into this great place where they are when they meet you. It's like somebody who's really excited for things, somebody who's, you know, excited for life, embracing the future, even though, you know, there are setbacks or things that go on. They're ready to take things and, you know, just keep moving forward. And to have such a like a bright energy in all of this is just so like that card says, right? It's peaceful, it's nice, it's such a good place to be. And if you're the pessimistic type, or maybe you've been going through your own bout of like just negativity, this person coming through really brings out something that's really positive for you. And it just like continues forward, right? And that's why we see it moving from like the 9 of Pentacles, which is security and abundance, like protection. It's guarding those that they love. It's making sure that those they care about are comfortable and surrounded by happiness, and that everything is as stable as possible. Like they're completely aware ups and downs in life, but they try to make the situation as amazing as possible, with that focus on what is still there. You know, with the 5 of Cups, you normally see the fixation on what is lost, but here we see the focus on what's still there. So it's like moving forward, still embracing what is to come in the future, and then having all this brightness and, you know, happiness of the Empress card. Now, I will say for a second, like there's a little story behind it, so you can skip forward. It's probably going to take about a minute, but here where I live, the magnolias bloom around February to March, and it's very gloomy around that time. And it's just like, you know, you walk around or you drive around and it's just gray and dark, and there's not like a lot of brightness. But when you drive down the street, there are these really bright pink magnolias. And magnolia, or those petals in particular, they're like the size of a hand. They're huge petals on those magnolia trees. So there's these huge pink flowers that are sticking out in all this gray. And that came to mind when I was looking at this, because these cards say safety and protection, and we see that within security right over here, and the star, which is like peace and healing. We have peace over here, and even though we have death, we have renewal, rebirth. And the Empress is the epitome of like the caregiver, the one that provides love. So we have all these beautiful cards, but it's like throughout the darkness, this person is the light. So in every aspect, this person's personality, who they are, it's just that bright pink magnolia flower in the grayness, you know, in the fog, in the sad, gloomy weather. It's this bright, beautiful flower. And that's why I'm saying that, like, this person has such a bright way of just existing, right? There's something that is so just amazing about them. They're so happy, they're so loving, they're so embracing. It's like something that is I feel like most people have not come across this type of person. You know, most people have not met somebody that is this amazing, that is this like, I mean, it's sort of similar to, I think, the first pile, but it's got this like really amazing, like, true balance between Empress, Emperor, which is what we want. We want both sides. Somebody who will stand up and fight, but somebody who will also sit down and, you know, allow things to progress. Somebody who would rather lean toward peace than upset, or, you know, they're not one to fight. They're not one to argue. They will stand up for what is needed, but they're not, you know, overboard. So it is this like amazing, like, beautiful energy that this person brings into your life. And all of these, you know, shadow, alchemist, safety, protection, I feel like this is such a big like deal for you, but as well as them, you know, to have this person come through. Like, you both manifested each other, and it's right there, you know. That's what I think. That's why I'm not seeing the timeline, because I think for this pile, you're not supposed to know when you meet. So that's what I'm seeing with this third pile and that clear crystal quartz moon. I want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I do hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Hello to everyone who chose pile 4. We have your rose quartz over here. I've already laid out all of the cards when it comes to when, how, and who. For this, pick a card with your future spouse. I'll go over them quickly. I just didn't want to waste your time by laying them out each one by one. So starting over here, we have the Page of Swords. We have the World, King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles with comfort and prosperity, the Three of Swords with release and recovery, the Knight of Wands with action and drive. Over here, we have the Horse with journey, the Dove with peace. We have the Hare and Oak with new opportunities, the Finch and Peach with romance, higher perspective, love. Then we have Trust with 41, the Polynesian Voyagers in the Pacific Ocean. Truth with 42. We have the Cherokee Talking Stick with tradition. So it stood out to me that 41 and 42 came through. This might be a special number for you. Maybe there's like a tie in there. Could also be like the 41st and 42nd week of the year. I'm not sure what that falls on, but it could also be like 41 or 42 days from now. But when it comes to those other tags, I focus on the when at first, so I'll get that out there when this person is coming. We do start off with a Page of Swords, so we're seeing quick movement. We're not seeing much of a delay when it comes to it, because that's a youthful energy, that's a young energy, a fresh energy, and a quicker paced movement. We're not seeing the regret or frustration, lack of planning, you know, of the Knight of Swords. We're seeing the kindness, the thoughtfulness of the Page of Swords. So that also reads into their personality quite a bit. We have the World, which is one cycle ending, a new cycle beginning, and then we have the King of Swords, which is an elevation between those two cards, you know, leveling up into the King of Swords energy. Because of that, I would say person seems to be coming through soon. The first card that has a number on it is the World, and that'll be 21. And now 21 and 21 would be 42. Not sure why I thought that, but here we are. But it could also be cycles of 3, because the World, and there's a 3 of feathers. We're not getting many like numbers within this stack in particular. We are getting like, or this pile in particular, we're just getting a lot of major cards, and like I'm just feeling a quickness overall, a quickness when it comes to this person. When it comes to where there's a city aspect, but also like a coastline aspect. So for some of you, this seems to be either like near a lake, ocean, you know, beach. This could be near a river, you know, anywhere where there's some water. This could be like on a trip somewhere where there is water, or just like somewhere where, you know, you're just seeing like quite a bit of water, like a water area. This could be a water park, but for others, it does feel like there's an outside aspect. Like, I don't feel like you're meeting indoors. It doesn't feel like it's inside of a building. It doesn't feel like it's inside of a, you know, confined space. It feels like it is outside. I don't feel like there's a lot of people, but it does feel like there might be a group aspect. So you might be introduced to this person through somebody else, maybe a friend, or like a friend's partner, like, you know, like your friend's significant other's best friend or something, you know, like there's somehow like somebody knows them. The person, it, because we're starting off with swords, it does feel like to me there's, this person's a little more talkative than some of the other piles. We have somebody who's a little more outgoing, somebody who stands out more. So we do see this person as a higher energy. I don't think they're like, you know, like the bright, excited, like, you know, really like emoted person. They're not like very I want to say like, they're not like really overboard in excitement, right? We see them sort of toned down, but I feel like this person does communicate well. They seem like a talker. In some cases, they will be very talkative. There's something very bright about these cards, and I'm not sure what, but, well, no, I know what, but I'm not sure what it's representing. It could be the sunset. It could be an area. So if there's something that is like orange or like sort of deserty, there are places like mountains in the desert that have you know, a lot of browns, oranges, all those colors. But it's giving me like sunset, in sunset vibes. Something bright, something that's like very sunny. It has like gold, yellow, orange. What's that place in Australia? The mountain. I think it's like Uluru. It has that aspect to it, but it could also just be the beach. It could be somewhere that there's just like you get to see the sunset. I would say mainly for some people it seems like a mountainy area, or somewhere that's just like where you can see the sky break through, because there's a lot of the same colors, like within Page of Swords, the world, the King of Swords, the dove over here, the finch and peach. Even within the Three of Swords and the Knight of Wands and Trust, there's this brightness, right? So there's this like summer sunset. That could also be a timeline. Summer, I didn't think about that. That could also be something that's coming through as a timeline when you meet this person. So when it comes to this person's personality, the cards that really stand out to me are the Dove with Peace, the Truth with the Walking Stick, and Trust with the Polynesian Voyagers. And I say that because it seems like somebody who, like I said, like they communicate well, but it's something where you don't have to worry about this person. And if there's been anybody in the past where maybe you've just been worried about them, or they felt like they were lying, maybe they were lying, and you were like, you know, this isn't the type of person you want. This is, you know, very frustrating. And maybe it left you in a place where you just, you know, weren't wanting to date or see anybody. We're seeing that complete opposite with this person, because they want to be, you know, like on the same page. And I feel like they might have gone through it too. You know, it could have been their energy where there's somebody that wasn't you know, quite faithful or communicated well. Maybe somebody who sort of went behind their back and did things that made them lose trust in them. So they're looking for somebody who is very like much like in line with them. And it's interesting, we got the King of Swords and the Queen of Crystals or Pentacles there, because normally I see them as opposites. Like, you have the fast talker, fast mover of the King of Swords, and Queen of Pentacles, slow, very kind, somebody who's very patient and hardly ever speaks. So it's a big contrast, but I think to have those two cards come out where they're honestly like facing each other, so they're able to see each other in a different light. So it's like you're finding that person who really balances you, but also like it's something that they need as well as something that you need. So you're finding this person, like if you're not the talkative type, this person's got you covered. If you are the talkative type, it's like you're there to balance it out for them. If you're not the adventurous type, you know, this person's a little more adventurous. If you're the adventurous type, you bring this one out of, you know, their shell. There's all this like good progress, and I think it's mainly because the trust, the peace, and the truth, the way that you're able to truly like on a very deep level communicate with each other and understand each other. I think that ability to really build a nice bond with the other person, like a trust-based bond, right? You're really able to just like move quickly and well throughout life together. It just has a really great like there's a peacefulness to this, and I think it's just the way that you're able to communicate. So this person just really, you know, I think matches you so well when it comes to this energy. It's, and in the world too, not many world, I can't think of any the world that has two people in it. So having one that has two people in it, it's like it stands out to me, because you're ending one cycle and you're beginning another cycle, but you're still in that cycle together, right? So you're still going through this together, and it's like you've chosen to move forward together rather than having like different timelines or anything. You're moving together. You have the new opportunities, you have romance, you have higher perspective, you have love. These are all these like beautiful cards of just like opening yourself up to this other person. Even with love, right? Having those hands that are outstretched, and it's like it's love, it's peace, it's trust, it's embracing the other person. And even in the dove trusting this person to land there, there's like so much going on here. So it's a really great I think there's only one that came out with like so much love and connecting, you know, within these cards. Well, that's what I'm seeing with this fourth stack and that rose quartz here. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I do hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye.